Hello and good morning, grade 7. How are you all? Hope you will be fine and enjoying your good health. Welcome to online classes. This is your geography lesson, and in this lesson, we are going to read chapter number 1, Internal Structure of the Earth. So, we start our lesson. Students, do you know that the structure of the earth is like a ball? It is like a tennis ball. There are two aspects of the earth, one inside and the other is outside. Students, outside layer is visible. We can see plants, mountains, rivers, animals, human beings, insects, etc. We can see everything here. But can we see inside of the earth? There is a lot inside the earth. Scientifically, if we look into the earth, it is not hollow. It is not hollow like a tennis ball. There is variety of structure and layers inside the earth. If we look deeply into the earth, we will come to know the earth's structure. The earth's structure consists of three parts: the crust, the mantle, and the core. It means the earth consists of three parts. There are three parts of the earth: the crust, the mantle, and the core. Students, the earth's structure is similar to that of an egg. Its crust is like the shell. Its mantle is like the egg white, and the core is like the yolk. Clear? We can have a look at a boiled egg. The earth's structure is similar to that one. Clear, students? Students, I told you about the earth's layers. I told you there are three layers of the earth. Number one, crust. What is crust? Students, crust is outermost surface of the earth. Mostly earthquakes occur within the crust. It is the thinnest layer of the earth. Number two, mantle. Mantle is the earth's interior layer that is mostly composed of solid rocks and extends from the base of crust to a deepness of about 2,900 kilometers. Mantle is the earth's interior layer that is mostly composed of solid rocks and extends from the base of crust to a deepness of about 2,900 kilometers. Number third, core. A layer that is rich in iron and nickel, founded in the interior of the earth, is called core. It is composed of two sublayers. Outer layer. This layer contains iron. It is fluid. So Earth's magnetic field generates when it flows. Core is divided into two sublayers. First is outer core. This layer contains iron. It is fluid. So Earth's magnetic field generates when it flows. Number 2, inner core. This layer is solid and it is the innermost layer of the earth. Clear, students? Now you have understood about the 3 layers of the earth. Number 1 is crust. Number 2, mantle. Number 3, core. Now we will start reading of page number 2. So you are supposed to open your book, page number 2. Have you ever wondered what the inside of the earth is like? Is it a solid mass? Solid, firm or hard? Or is it made up of both solid and liquid materials? Liquid, a substance that flows freely. Nobody has ever traveled into the interior of the earth. Interior, inner or inside. So how do scientists know what the inside of the earth is like? Scientists had little knowledge of the interior of the earth, but they gained a good understanding after they started to study earthquake more closely. Students, in the beginning of the universe, the scientists didn't have proper knowledge about the earth. They didn't know about the inner layers of the earth. But within the passage of time, they got more understanding as they started studying earthquakes more closely. By examining these waves and how they move through the earth, scientists are able to tell whether the inside of the earth is solid or liquid. Students, when they started studying about the waves and how the waves move through the earth, they are able to know about the inside of the earth. That is it hard or is it soft, or the substance flows freely. Besides studying the waves, in addition to, scientists also depend on a lot of reasoning to come to a conclusion and about the internal structure of the earth. What do you think is the temperature of the interior of the earth? Students, temperature, the degree of heat present in a substance. How do we know how hot or cold the interior of the earth is? Miners, persons who works in mines. Miners find that the temperature actually increases, grow, rise, increases the deeper they go into the mine. Besides this observation, holes were drilled deep into the earth and the temperatures at different depths were recorded. It was observed that the temperature deeper down the hole is higher than the temperature nearer the surface. Scientists therefore think that it is reasonable, sensible to say that the interior of the earth is hotter compared to the area nearer the surface. Students, there is a question. How do we know how hot or cold the inside of the earth is? The persons who works in mines come to know that the temperature grows as they go deeper into the mine. For more understanding and knowledge, scientists made holes deep down the earth, and they found that temperature deeper down the hole is higher as compared to the nearer surface of the earth. Clear, students? From the information gathered, scientists know that the earth has three distinct layers, distinct clear layers: the crust, the mantle, and the core. Students, it means that there are three layers of the earth, as I have told you in the beginning of the lesson. The first is the crust, the second the mantle, the third the core, as you can see in figure 1.1. The outer layer crust, in the middle mantle, and in the end outer and inner core. The core is further divided into outer and inner cores. A close-up view of the different layers of the earth can be seen in figure 1.2. The thickness of earth layer is also given. Students, you can see from the picture more clearly. There are two shapes of the earth. We can say layers based on chemical properties, belongings. Layers based on physical properties. Students, Earth's inner structure can be described both chemically and mechanically, as you can see from the figure 1.2. Here are two parts, two shapes are described. Layers based on chemical properties. Properties mean belongings. Here is mantle, crust, and silicates. Silicates and of a large number of common minerals formed of silica, oxygen, and one or more other. And in the other part you can see mesosphere. So mesosphere, from Greek word mesos, middle, is the third layer of the atmosphere, directly above the stratosphere and directly below the thermosphere, as you can see from the picture. In mesosphere, temperature decreases as altitude increases. Clear, students? Now come to lithosphere. Lithosphere. Students, lithosphere, the rigid outer part of the earth, consisting of the crust and upper mantle. Lithosphere, the rigid outer part of the earth, consisting of the crust and upper mantle. Clear? Now come to asthenosphere. Asthenosphere, the upper layer of the earth's mantle below the lithosphere and believed to be much hotter and more fluid than the lithosphere. Clear, students? Now I think you are clear about these three terms. Mesosphere, the mesosphere from Greek word mesos, middle, is the third layer of the atmosphere. And asthenosphere, the upper layer of the earth's mantle below the lithosphere. and believed to be much hotter and more fluid than the lithosphere. And what is lithosphere? The rigid outer part of the earth consisting of the crust and upper mantle. I think you are clear now. Students, this is your lesson for today. You have to read page number 2 properly and understand the terms and learn them by heart.